Hey, good morning, YouTubers. I'm just taking a sip of my coffee. Got some ground Melita 100% Colombian coffee. And I sprinkle some organic cinnamon, ground cinnamon. After you get the coffee grounds in the coffee maker, you cover the top with cinnamon, and that way when it brews, you get the cinnamon flavor in the coffee. It's delicious. And I don't add cream anymore. Just a little bit of that stevia, which has got 0 calories. So this black coffee is sweetened with natural stevia leaf. Okay, it's about 7:34 on a Wednesday morning. And I was up Choochin on Google Plus with Rosie and Nicole till after 1 a.m. this morning. And anyways, I went to bed. I got about a 4-hour nap, and I got up at 5, and I took my pill. There's a pill I take. You can't have any fiber an hour before or after. So usually 4 or 5 a.m. when I wake up and have to go use the bathroom, I'll wash my hands obviously, and then I'll go to the kitchen and I take my little pill. It's called digoxin. It's a little white pill. I got to take one of those every day because I have a pacemaker over here, see? I don't even know what the digoxin does. It's just a prescription I've been taking every day for 4.5 years since I got this pacemaker when I was discharged from the hospital, okay? So I take it every day. And I've very rarely missed a day, okay? And maybe once or twice. Yeah. But anyways, that's the most consistent thing I ever did. Okay, enough with the jokes. Okay. So it's a little, I didn't have to turn the heat on last night. In fact, I had to turn on the air conditioning, even though it's like, it isn't that warm out right now. But as we live in Florida, I live in a brick building. It keeps the heat in, so I may not even have to turn on the heat this winter. So actually, my electric bill's going down. I'm not using the air conditioner as much, and last month my electric bill was $120 something. So hopefully it'll get back down in the $40 to $50 a month range. Anyway, so I got up and I started cooking. I steamed some broccoli and I kind of went back to bed, and I set my alarm clock for like 30 minutes later, and I don't think I fell asleep, but I'm laying in bed. I got a sore leg, and it hurts just to walk around. So, gee, 3 minutes. So anyways, I cooked some soup, and this soup has got some broccoli crowns in it, and chunks of broccoli from the stalk. I chop that up and throw that in with the water. A 6-ounce can of tomato paste, and all my wonderful heart-friendly spices and stuff, and 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And so you get all that kind of percolating, warming it up and everything. And I'm going to show you. It's called mung beans. They look like peas, but they're smaller, okay? Here we go. And there they are. This is a 1/2 cup measure, and we just don't have, this is the last of what was in the container. I basically get a 1-pound container of these and put it in a plastic container. And usually when I cook, I use 1 cup, or tells you on the bag how to cook it, right? But basically, you put like for a 1/2 cup, you need 1.5 cups of water. Okay, so you need 3 times the amount of dry beans in water content. Okay, so they're nice little green things. And so after I cooked all this stuff, this is what I got. Okay. This is my breakfast today. There we go. I don't got my glasses on, so that's about as best as it's going to get. But you can see the pasta in here, and there's also some white rice. I'll explain to you how I made this. So basically, this is very, very delicious. It has a nice earthy taste from the mung beans. Mmm. With the tomato paste and everything combined in there, delicious. So anyway, this is totally vegan. There's no meat or butter, any kind of animal fat, anything. This is all totally vegan. So I went to my counselor appointment yesterday, and boy, when I got on the bus and I was heading home, I was hungry because I really didn't eat anything all day. I had a smoothie, a Herbalife smoothie. They had a place where you could stop in for lunch and get one of these smoothies for $6, and I never did that before, so I tried it. I had an hour to kill before my appointment, and this place was like across the street and down the road a little bit from where I have to go to my counseling appointment. So I'm going back there in 3 weeks, and I'm going to pick up a canister of this Herbalife. And I had a good time in there kidding around with the girls. It was just 2 girls in there, and the one who served me, I found out just before I left. I asked her what her name was. She said it was Heidi. And I said I might be interested in buying a canister of this Herbalife powder. And so she gave me a brochure. And so I'm going to look through it and pick a flavor. So she said it costs about $40, but that's probably if you become a Herbalife distributor. Because I was looking at the prices, it was more like $47. But even at that, if you can get like 20 to 30 meal replacements, you know, you're talking less than $2 a meal. And bing, that's inside my budget. You know, I try to keep my food budget under $10 a day. So if I can get 2 meals or 1 meal a day costing $2, you know, that's going to help me, okay, in the long run. You know, even if I don't have a shake every day, when I want one, I got the powders there, I can make it, you know. And that's a meal. So anyway, so getting back to this meal, you know, after the mung beans are in there, Choochin, and basically I put like 2 cups of water in there for the mung beans and 2 cups of water for the pasta. Because once the mung beans were cooked, not completely, but you know, after about half an hour, and you know, you can tell they're like half to 3/4 done. Well, then you drop a couple handfuls of pasta. And I'll tell you, this bag of pasta has lasted longer than any. This is 1 pound of Italian organic pasta. And this was like $3 or something. I don't know, some ridiculous price. But I only used this. I've made 3 meals out of this so far, and I still have enough for 1 more meal. So basically, I'm using 2 servings of this. And then I used a half cup of jasmine rice and put that in there. And you know, there's enough water in the soup to suck up for the rice and the pasta. So I turned the fire down real low, like medium low, cover it, and I went back to bed, you know. And so he comes back, you know, and everything's cooked. And the spaghetti, the pasta is all blown up, and you know, and it's delicious. So this is what I'm having for breakfast. Not your standard bacon and eggs and coffee. This is delicious. This is vegan. Yesterday I had a vegan soy protein shake breakfast before my counseling appointment. So, so good. So, you know, in this, and the thing about these mung beans is they look like peas, right? See, they're green. They're smaller, but they contain 3 or 4 times the amount of protein as green sweet peas, and they only contain maybe a third of the sugar. There's very little sugar in these things. It's they're like beans, okay? And so they're very, very good for you. Very good for you. So you can sprout these things, put them in a container with water and sprout them for a few days in the refrigerator. And that's supposed to be even nutritionally better for you than cooking it this way. So anyways, just wanted to share what I'm having for breakfast. And oh, I got a new bathing suit. You know, all the bathing suits are going on sale. So I get emails daily from some clothing manufacturers. So, you know, I don't, a lot of them I delete, but, you know, sometimes they put a sale and it's really hard to avoid the sale. But I bought a suit a week and a half ago, and I got it in the mail yesterday or the day before. And this is a $30 swimsuit, okay? I got it for $5.99. That's like $6. 6 times 5 is 30. So I got 80% off. I'm only paying 20%. And this is cheaper than a pair of panties. And it's so comfortable. It is a bathing suit. It's got the heavy, thick material, and I'm going to show you what it looks like. I have lost weight. I am in a smaller garment. Oh, my legs. Now it's my left leg. My right hip and leg was bothering me 2 weeks ago. Now everything in here, the whole muscle, my left leg is tight. It hurts almost constantly, and when I walk, it hurts even more. But anyway, this is my new suit. It has a runched thing here in the front on both sides, and it's probably kind of hard to see, but you can see I have lost a lot of weight. Okay, you know, up here through my midriff and through my stomach. I mean, I don't have six-pack abs, but you can see I'm starting to get some chiseling here. So the weight, the extra weight is coming off, and I'm losing weight in my legs. And so this is a very nice, I guess it's a bikini bottom, you know, and still kind of a big girl here, size 28, women's plus size 28. So if just to give you a reference. So you know what? Hey, I was oversized 30 a year ago. I couldn't even get into women's clothes. You know, I was probably 32, 34 or more, you know. And I've been losing inches, and the inches are coming off, and it's all that extra fat that I had. And the weight hasn't come off as fast as I would have liked, but I think riding my bike and swimming in the pool, some of that fat got converted to muscle, and muscle weighs more than fat. So I'm losing it. You know, it may be only coming off a pound a week or something on a steady rate, but hey, I'm heading in the right direction. 13 minutes, huh? So what else do I want to talk about? Okay, my counselor meeting. Basically, I shared some things. Basically, when I go in there, she wants to hear what's happened in my life the last 3 weeks. So I shared a few things that happened to me. And then, you know, I experienced some emotional distress about a week to 10 days ago. And I shared that. And I sent an email, or actually I sent a video. I was in a very poor mood one day, and my son, my youngest son, he's 27. He's going to be 27 in December, and I have 2 grandsons from him. But anyways, we exchanged some pictures like a week or 2 ago, and you know, I haven't heard from him in quite a while. So you know, so I sent him a video. I made a private video. It was 16 minutes long, and you know, basically we talked about 8 minutes, 8 to 10 minutes on the beginning was more like family stuff, And then the last maybe 6 or 7 minutes, I kind of started sharing. I didn't come out and really explain everything to him, but I told him that I was going to a psychological counselor, and I was telling him that, there's some things about me that nobody knows about, and things I've been dealing with privately in my inner soul for all my life. And I says, I'm going to counseling and having a professional evaluate my psychological condition. And so anyway, so he knows I'm going to a counselor, and I mean, he doesn't know everything about my situation, but you got to break it in slow, you know. That's what I'm trying to do here. I'm trying to do this in bite-size packets, so they find out about something, and that chooches in their mind for a while, and then something else comes up, and it's like a progression, if you just kind of dump it on your family, just show up on your doorstep in drag, and you look like a freaking movie star, like a year ago you looked like Godzilla. they're gonna go, ah, I mean, come on, it's shock value, right? So anyways, I'm trying to do this. So that's my concern. I was talking to counsel. Look, I don't know what to say. I says, I don't know what to say and what not to say. I said, you got to help me out here. So she is. She says, well, I want you to write a couple of letters to your kids and try and explain, about who you are and everything. And we'll go over it. And she'll fine tune it, whatever. Say, oh, you don't need to say this, you don't need to say that. Basically, she said, as far as sexuality goes, you really don't have to say anything, because it's none of anybody else's business. It's like you don't go, your son isn't going to talk to you about his relationship in bed with his wife. I mean, that's inappropriate, It's stuff you don't even talk about, it's not acceptable. So anybody that asks you questions about your sexuality, they're not your friend, okay? They're digging for information just so that they can laugh and joke about it. So use a little wisdom out there, ladies. Nobody needs to know what's in our pants, okay? Whether you're pre-op or post-op or any kind of op, okay? It's in the mind. And I've been studying this, and boy, I got some, from my counselor, I got some websites that, full of good information about, and I found out some things yesterday reading a document that, when you're born, okay, your hormones inside your little baby body work and develop you for like a whole year after you leave the womb. And then you continually develop between, up to age, between ages 3 and 6. There's a lot of stuff going on in there mentally, your brain, and all this stuff is Choochin, and and then your hormone levels, whatever they are, and nobody, not, there's a lot of people that don't have normal hormone levels. I mean, that's, so like, there's some good medical reasons why people think and act and do the things they do, Some of it's all hormonal. Basically, sexuality is hormonality, okay? If you ain't got the right mix of hormones in your body, even people's sex organs don't develop right, okay? And the brain can develop opposite of, just because you have a penis and a scrotum and some testicles doesn't mean that your brain developed entirely male, I mean, things happen, and they're discovering this now. It's a lot more complicated than like, you got a wiener, you're a boy. You got a vagina, you're a girl. I mean, that's like caveman stuff. Okay, that's going strictly by sight. And people aren't like that. There's tomboys. It's very acceptable in our society for a girl to grow up acting like her brothers, and everybody considers that normal. But sometimes boys, they you know, they have female mental and brain and thought processes and personality characteristics that are feminine, and they're not like other boys. And that's where I was. Okay, my testicles weren't lowered till I was like 9 and 11. So not only did that have a physical effect on me, it had a psychological effect on me. And so, you know, when I got the green light to go play sports when I was 13 years old, well, hey, I dove into it, you know, both feet. You know, I was striving to be normal and fit in as a normal boy. But, you know, I found out that, like, there was things about being a man, like football and pain and suffering. I didn't like it. Okay, and I dropped out of football, even though I was a good football player. I didn't like it. I didn't like the violence. And sorry, you know, I mean, you can put all the pads on and have all the fun out there you want, but you know what? Some of those guys get life-changing injuries, and it isn't too pretty, okay? And I saw that. I says, you know what? Why should I risk? I already got injured a few times in high school. I got a sprained wrist, and I was out for the season, my left wrist. And I had sprained ankles, real bad sprains, and I never broke anything. But I know a guy who was a fullback on my football team. He played his senior year in a school, public school or another school, because our school closed. I had to go to Lowell High School in Massachusetts for my senior year, because the private school I was going to, that I was paying tuition for, working all summer and paying my own tuition for 3 years, they closed the doors in my face. All right? And so I went to public school. But you know what? This guy, he played on a football team as a fullback. Well, guess what? He got a concussion. And then he went back to he was back in kindergarten learning his ABCs. I mean, that's how serious it was. And, you know, I never heard again what happened to that guy. I mean, this is like 40 years ago, right? But, you know, it's, you know, is it worth it? You know, I mean, you know, I'm not condemning our culture. You know, I think there's a place for football and violence, but I chose not to do that. I chose to become an engineer, which is a hell of a lot safer than running around whacking people on a football field. Okay, so 22 minutes. Oh my God. So, anyways, that's basically what I'm doing now. My counselor is working with me to so I can get a self-description of myself mentally, internally, and then get that down on a piece of paper. And then, you know, so it's going to be a while. It's going to be, my next visit is the Thursday before Thanksgiving. And then like after that, you're into December, and I may get 2 more meetings after that at the end of the year. But man, I mean, it's going to be January 1st in 2 months, folks. It's like tomorrow's the last day of October. Where'd the year go? So anyway, well, hey, that's all I got to say. I got to cut this short. It's almost 25 minutes, 23 something. But hey, I enjoyed talking with you today, and you got to see my suit, my nice, and I'm more comfortable. You know, hey, I live in Florida. I hang around in my bathing suit. Okay, I know some of you are breaking out the winter clothes, and I feel sorry. This is about as heavy as I'm going to get. It's like a Sherpa heavy cotton. I'm starting to sweat in this. It's coming off, baby. Stop. Don't want to have a YouTube violation. Got to get this shirt off. As soon as the video is on off comes the shirt. Love everybody. Bye.